I think it's a beautiful world. That's all it is. I think it's a beautiful world.
The world could use a friend.
I think it's a beautiful world. That's all it is. I think it's a beautiful world.
The world could use a friend.
I think it's a beautiful world. That's all it is. I think it's a beautiful world.
The world could use a friend.
Guys, welcome to the Valleycast.
Hello.
Sorry.
Nice.
It was really
Loved
beautiful. It was so like
It was
all
relaxing.
things considered.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't it? So like the beginning of that where it's
Yeah.
just like, I'm Cadence Graven.
Yeah.
And for the next hour and a half, we're going to
Settle
explore
down.
using burps through sound and
Guys,
sound.
Reddit user Zen Pieces,
Zen Pieces.
Russell Zen supplied that awesome intro.
Russ.
Thank you to Russell. Thank you, Russell.
Russell Zen on SoundCloud, he says, his description is, this is a little ditty I put together for my favorite Valley folk. This is the first time I've heard Elliot so adamant about a topic, and I appreciated it. The world is a beautiful place filled with babies and burps, and don't ever deny it. Never shared a track before, but I hope it fancied your ear holes. Wow, it was very
That
good.
is nice.
Thank you
That's
so
an
much,
applause.
man.
Great job, man.
I do think we should really focus on the fact that that was a disgusting burp that he made musical.
Yeah.
Really
it's
cool.
very Bjork
Yeah.
of him.
That was one of my favorites so far.
You've heard
I
the
really
fart,
like
the
that
fart
beat.
like concerto, right? Like the
Fart,
guy
fart,
that.
fart.
No, it's like this guy like farted musical
Oh,
notes,
yes, it's like,
and then he actually like composed the notes into like an orchestra.
I might have back. in
Yeah,
the
it's
day.
really good.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
It's really good.
I
Yeah.
don't
So
know,
that
it
was my
sounds
topic.
A little lowbrow.
Hey guys, welcome to the Valleycast. This is the podcast of the Valley Folk, the official podcast of the Valley Folk.
Yes,
and it
True.
features the Valley Folk themselves: Steve Zaragoza, Lee Newton, Joe Bretta, and Elliot Morgan.
That is us.
And we basically just like we sit here, we talk, we make jokes. Sometimes there's a bit or two. Relax.
Yeah, calm down. We all come to the table with a
It's
topic.
true.
Yeah.
I read one criticism that was like, you guys really need to find your tone. It's like 1 second you're burping and the other second you're talking about mortality and how scary death is. And I was like, no, I think you're...
Oh, that's our tone.
Yeah.
That's our tone.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That is our tone.
Yeah.
Somebody
100%.
stole our tagline.
yeah. I was like, hold on, that's actually perfect. Let me write this down.
I mean, did you just read it? Because that's what we are.
We hired an agency to come
love
up
that.
with that. It was actually very
Yeah, we're
expensive.
So
broke.
much
Yeah.
stuff.
We're done.
Oh
because
yeah.
of the
This is the
tagline.
end of our.
Yeah.
This is the end. Yeah.
Welcome to
It's
the
just
final
copy
Valleycast.
over and over again.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
But anyway, welcome, guys. If this is your first time, we're going to have a lot of fun. Basically, you don't really have to know much. You just sit here and you listen.
we do a thing where we all bring different topics to the table and we discuss them. And it can be something that's going on in our personal lives or something that we've seen on the internet.
A current event.
A current event, perhaps.
Maybe just something that's been on our minds that we want to bring to the table and talk about.
We've
Yeah.
even, foreshadowing, brought items to the table and experienced them for the first
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Did you say experienced?
He certainly did. And
I
if
did.
we could have a playback really quick, Steve.
Show a playback, Steve.
I got nervous.
Let me say that thing after you. That way it just makes it harder for you when you're editing it.
Experience.
Experiments?
I love
Yeah.
experiments. Especially after you eat a meal with onions.
It really
How-
helps
how
with
are you
your
guys-
breath.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Ooh, it
Feeling
sounds like
good?
we're going to talk
Well, it
about
doesn't
that in a
sound
little
good
bit.
at all.
Oh no, I was gonna just stop
sounded
talking
dark.
for a second.
Oh, you know what? Let's try that one more time, Elliot.
Oh, how are you guys feeling today?
So good.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
good.
Steve,
I'm-
What a day.
Joe, I'm glad
What
to
a
hear
day.
you're doing well.
having
Lee.
a good time.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The other thing that we do at the top of the show is a little bit of housekeeping. Housekeeping is where we
Oh,
talk about any
yes.
changes or alterations or things that
course.
we learned from topics that we talked about on a previous episode. Do you guys have anything to bring to the table this week?
I have nothing other than I just want to say a post-emptive thank you to everyone who came out to our Arizona show. We're actually recording this before the show because we have no time. Do you guys care that I'm saying that?
No, I think
you
it's
guys
okay.
are
I
all
think
looking at
it's-
each
I
other like,
think we
oh
gotta
shit, he's
go.
saying it.
No.
No, I just panicked.
Do we keep going? Let's
fine.
keep going.
Let's
It's,
go.
it's
Run.
fine. It's live. We can't stop.
No, I think
No,
I think
we
we
just-
gotta keep transparency.
Yeah. I mean, we
The world
just
could end.
we're traveling when we will be traveling when we normally record the podcast. Valleycast. So, and we've got a busy weekend ahead of us because we're traveling to Arizona together in a van, which should be really fun. And
Minivan.
But I
Dodge
just wanted to
van
say thank you to everyone who came out, and I hope it was good.
We will.
And I hope I didn't die.
And we'll have a
Oh,
robust
I hope you
recap
didn't die.
Yeah.
of the said show on the next
Wouldn't
podcast.
it
And
suck if I
videos,
died?
and we're gonna show people clips of the show, and we're gonna make it really fun for people. It's
We
gonna
got
be
a lot.
cool piece
I'm
of
really
content.
excited.
Yeah.
about
I'm
it.
so excited.
I'm
I'm so
very
excited.
excited.
We-
about
It's so
it.
much fun.
Yeah, I mean, people know now, but we had Bowman with us, and so that's always a good
Yeah,
recipe
it's
for fun
good
shit.
time.
Yeah.
I love a good
Me
Bowman.
too.
I
Who
love a
doesn't?
good Matthew
Who
Bowman.
doesn't?
You know what I'm really excited for? I'm excited for when we get there. When we get there, approximately 7:30 p.m. on Saturday evening, the night before the show. I'm
That's
excited
such
about.
a long drive.
I'm excited about the time for us
It
to
certainly
go
is.
to a restaurant, go outside, and have fun together. That's my favorite part
The
about
place
a
we're
lot of
staying
this
at
stuff
has
is-
cornhole.
Yes.
There we
Ooh,
go.
I'm not gonna
I knew
participate
it.
in that.
No, you will. You'll have a great time
That's
because
too physical for
you
me.
and I. Oh, it's
Yeah.
just, you're tossing.
We're
all
gonna
over
I
play
know,
a
but then you
lot
got
of
to go
cornhole.
back and
Big.
get, and then you got to keep
No,
going back
oh,
and forth to
no.
grab it. I don't know.
Dude, here's why cornhole is one of the
You don't have to go
greatest.
back and forth.
Cornhole is a single hand game, which means the other hand is free for the other things that you want to do while gaming as a grown ass adult.
Name one thing,
Drink.
Joe.
Oh, you could have a beer in that hand.
Yeah.
You know what else you can have?
I don't
Other
drink
things.
beer.
A dragon or a cat.
You could have a cat dragon.
I can have a cat dragon?
You can have a cat dragon in one hand and a cornhole bag in the other.
What's a cornhole bag?
And that's what we call
It's
Phoenix,
It's
Arizona.
a bag of
It's-
beans and or rocks.
Oh, bag. It's the
very
bag.
necessary
The
for
cornhole bag. Got it.
cornholing.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
cornhole
so hard
bags
to do
are-
without
Is that
it.
the technical term for that?
Yeah, it's a cornhole
The cornhole
bag.
bag.
Actually, it's also a technical term for a very aggressive, angry, skanky woman.
cornhole bag.
She's a real cornhole
It's
bag.
also the non-scientific term for a prolapsed rectum.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's it. Oh, he
I
had a
think-
cornhole
Oh,
bag.
he's got a bad cornhole bag. Let's get him in
Oh,
there.
also after the show, I hope we had a good time. I hope we had a good time after the show when we went to a
Yeah.
bar after we hung out
And
with
you know
people.
what?
Maybe met a couple cornhole bags.
Let's just keep going a little. You know what? Let's just go a little bit further. I hope I had a good night's sleep when we came back. Like when I finally
think
got
that
back to my
sometimes-
bed.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I
Oh.
really because it'll
Ooh.
feel nice to get back to our beds.
I'll probably
Back
have a
to-
lot of adrenaline, and I probably won't sleep well
Yeah.
until I actually, and then it'll be out.
I'm sure you guys
Totally.
had a great night's sleep when we got back. My son, he woke up and kind of came into our bed at 2 p.m. and it's something we're trying to get him to stop doing, but I didn't have a good night's sleep, is what I'm saying.
When you came back.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, when I
man.
came back, it was just I'm tired. I'm a little tired.
You can be tired, man. I'm
Okay.
so sorry
Thanks.
that happened to you.
Sorry.
It's okay. Hey, thanks
Oh,
guys.
that
I appreciate it.
What if that does happen? That'll you manifested it and it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You shouldn't do that. You should say something different.
Yeah.
Break the
Hey,
curse in the name of
who's got
Jesus.
the
Wait,
first
hold
topic?
on. A side note.
Sorry. Yeah, I got
Hold
lost
on.
entirely.
If you want to take whatever that swallow sound was that Steve
Oh, I'm leaving
just
it in
made
for sure. Yeah.
and turn it into a song, future song.
Yeah, I would love that.
Good. That was the heaviest.
Definitely
Go.
take every and any weird sound.
Don't do it. Okay.
No, go ahead and do it.
Do it.
Elliot's
Do
gonna
it.
try and make
Yeah,
a
do
swallow
it. Do it. Do it.
sound.
Do it. Hold on. Let me boost you a little bit. Okay. Put it up to your throat. Put it up to your throat.
Can we all?
Yeah.
Let's all do it like Elliot. Me,
No, I don't
you,
think I
Steve.
can.
It's so gross.
Here, I'm gonna get
Hold on,
mine.
I'm doing it.
We all have to.
It's so gross.
I need a
Oh my God.
little something.
We're gonna have to talk about death soon.
No, we should all do it together.
This is our tone, everybody. Got it.
No, what I was saying is I'll need to adjust levels and stuff.
Oh, I'm saying we should adjust all four and we'll just do it in the line.
Oh, all right, sure.
And then all laugh to the side.
All right, fuck it. Just don't get too close to your mics right now because I'm boosting them real high. Can someone get Joe swig that? You don't want this. This is kombucha. You're not gonna like it.
I won't. I know I won't.
Okay, here we go. Elliot, are you joining us too, or you already did yours? Oh, okay, great. Here we go.
Sing.
It's stupid. It's
I don't
stupid.
like
it was
that-
not a good bit.
Because no, it
No,
wasn't a
it
good
didn't
bit.
work out.
Also,
think
it's
it
just
did.
swallow sound, except for Elliot who went.
Yeah, it's not a good
afterwards.
bit.
No, it's
Because
not.
he was probably choking on the water he was holding for 92 minutes.
How about this? It is a good bit. Oh, you're gone.
I think I'm
There you
gone.
go.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it is a good bit. I contend it's a great video bit. And if you guys would like to check out that video bit, go
Oh.
support us at patreon.com/the
There you
Valley
go.
Folk, where we
And you
post
can see
the
it, yeah.
video in its entirety.
These guys want me to sign up for their Patreon because they swallowed into a microphone. No, there's more to it than
There's
that.
a
And
lot more to it.
and we're gonna make a show pretty soon. It's just for the Patreon.
Get
people.
excited.
All right,
I
first
picked up
topic. Who's
color.
got it?
Oh well, I think Lee did.
Oh, I do. I okay. I can do it.
Go ahead,
You
baby.
got
do
it.
it.
What you got, girl?
Okay.
No, I think
so,
Joe did. I think Joe did.
I got one too.
I've got one too, actually.
We all
We
got
all
topics.
have one.
Lee, what you got?
I've been brushing my
Yeah,
teeth.
we all
kinda-
have topics. Are you surprised we all have topics?
I am because I don't, and I'm panicking.
Oh, okay. Well, just
I'm sorry.
We'll get to you
Find
last
one,
then.
buddy.
Yeah.
You'll find one.
We'll get
It's
to you
like
last.
when you order a meal, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have them
Yeah.
go. They're gonna come salad and fajitas, and
That's
I'll
what
just
I
wait. Give me a second. Okay. Last night you guys were with me. Last night I got a hurried phone call. One, Delman called over and over, and I was like, ugh, and I kept like, sending him away because we were having a very,
Your husband,
heavy.
Delman.
My husband, Delman. I call him Delman. His first name is Andrew, but I've never called him that.
You know, I
a
think
day in
about
his
that
life.
all the time. Look,
It's
no, I don't think about it
horrible.
all the time. I just thought about it a lot the other day.
It's not him. I just don't think it's him in any way, shape, or form. Like,
You don't
it's
think
not-
he's Delman?
I don't think he's Andrew. Like
Yeah,
not
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
not for a
Agreed.
I don't think he's Andrew. I don't think he's Andy or Drew.
But
Like
it's very
all of those
interesting
are
because
horrible.
Nor is he a Jacob, which I always thought was
yeah,
weird.
it's very weird.
Yeah, and I just have always thought about how, like, because you're a Delman now. Like, are you?
No, I didn't take his last name.
And you won't?
No,
So you're just Lee Newton forever?
Yeah.
You're not Lee Delman.
nah.
Okay.
Here's why. One,
Ooh, let's get into this. This is interesting. I want to hear your
Yeah.
perspective on this.
I've
Let me get a close up on you for
All
that.
Can we
right.
get a close up on Lee for this?
Can
Yeah.
you get a close up on me?
Get a
Thank you
close
so
up.
much. I worked hard to be established, even in a minuscule way, as Lee Newton. It feels very weird. It feels very much my identity.
Yeah.
It feels
You're
like
you.
I'm me. I adore my family. I'm so proud to be a Newton. And so it feels really weird that once I get married, I take his.
Your family's also
Like,
last name's Newton.
Newton. Yeah. So it just feels, huh. I love
Are you
it.
sure?
Do you have you asked? Most people just call him mom and dad. Do you ever really
Mom
get
and
to the
Dad
bottom of it?
Newton.
Were you also did the fact that it's a ridiculous last name and doesn't work with your name at all have anything to do
A
with
little
it?
bit. I mean,
Lee
Lee Delman.
Delman.
Lee
It's not-
Delman.
Also, one, I do call him that. My whole family calls him that. It feels weird to be like, I'm Lee Delman and this is my husband Delman. Like,
Yeah.
that feels weird a little bit.
Lee Delman and Delman
and
Delman.
Delman. I told him that he should take my last name because Delman Newton sounds
No, I
fucking
don't like
great.
it. I
But
don't
that's
like
not.
it.
Oh, you mean Andrew Delman?
Andrew
Newton.
Delman. Or no,
Andrew
just to go by
Newton.
Delman.
Just Delman
Delman
Newton.
Newton. I kind of like it.
I don't like it. Delman Newton sounds like a character from the Teddy Ruxpin universe.
Does it sound like Delman Newton? Does it sound like a half?
Delman Newton.
I'm Delman Newman. I'm a magician.
I
My
can
last
only
name is
talk when you put a
Newton.
cassette tape in my back.
Delman Newton. That's right. I forgot for a second.
God. No, I don't know. I just didn't. It's such a weird thing for me. It once again feels so like everything I researched about it, because I did research a lot about it, being like, do I want to do this? And it was like so all about like your property. And it felt so weird to me. Now, here's the thing. I don't really care if anyone else does it. It's kind of one of those things where I don't have any other stance except for my own on it. You know how some people are like, well, it's bullshit. It's like, nah, man, it's just that's why I didn't do it, is because he already goes by Delman. It felt weird to take a last name that he uses as his first
Did
name.
he ever ask? Did he ever say like? would you-
Not at all. I asked him if it upset him too. I was like, is this a problem at all? And he was like, no, not
great.
remotely.
You do you, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's
just
love.
never
That's
really.
love. That's
it was
sweet.
just one of those things. Of that being said, in a weird way, and I know this seems hypocritical, but if we ever have children, they'll probably have his last name.
Sure.
Because that's how that works.
You can also hyphenate.
I'll probably Newton Delman. Good God, that poor child.
Oh God, don't do that.
Is it? I want to say
Just use the-
Noodleman.
or
Oh,
Noodleman's good. Noodleman is a
Noodleman?
good one.
See?
Noodleman.
Noodleman.
Yeah.
No, I just
Spanks,
never
Spanks
got into it.
Noodleman.
Or Newman.
I like Newman a lot,
Yeah.
but he says no because of the whole Seinfeld
Oh,
connotation.
please.
It's huge. If someone was
Hey,
named Newman,
let's
you'd immediately
grow
go
up.
Newman.
Let's
Ask
grow
you know
up
what?
for a
A-
second.
Ask any millennial who the fuck Newman
Oh, that's
is,
actually
and they'll be like,
fact.
I don't know who the fuck
That's a
you're
fact
talking about.
right there.
Yeah.
No, so that's why
You'd be
that
right.
can be my topic.
I love it. That's very
I mean,
interesting.
or you could just do what you're doing now and live your best life, baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, you
And
can
we'll
do that.
support you.
Yeah,
Either way.
Yep.
thank you.
How would you feel if he showed up one day and he said, "Lee, I am just tired of being known as Delman, so I changed my last name. My name now is Andrew Johnson. But he didn't talk to you about it first, and he just showed up legally.
And he has the
moving
paperwork and
forward.
everything.
He is
He's
now
got
just Andrew Johnson.
A best friend named Andrew Johnson.
Maybe that's why he did it.
Yeah.
So I
he
feel
loves
a
him.
little uncomfortable about it.
What if he came to you and was like, Lee, I've been thinking about this for a very long time, and I think this might be. Oh, hang on, let me do this.
Okay.
Let me do this in Thomas' voice. I've been thinking about this for like kind of a long time, but you know, it's not like a big deal or anything.
It's
but
fine.
it's fine. But I just think that we should change your first name to Delman. So that you're Delman Newton and
Hey,
I'm Andrew Delman.
Andrew
Lee, I was
Delman.
going through the tax forms.
That's what it would
and,
be. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
I think we can save $400 a year
If you change your
we
name to
change your
Delman.
name to Delman.
Because it'll confuse the IRS. It's not a big deal.
The mail
That
will
would
get
actually
lost.
be it. That would be the only reason he would do it. Is if he
We're
could
gonna save $400
No, it'd be like
a year.
$43 a year.
Another thing that I did without consulting you first is I'm also only going to be known as a dog. Moving forward, I'm a dog
I want
now.
everyone to refer to me as Dog Delman. Delman the good
Oh
dog.
my God,
Look,
Dog
no.
Delman. If he like was a stand-up comic and he was like, "Oh, what's up,
Yeah,
everyone? I'm Doug Delman."
Dog Delman.
Oh my
Dog
God.
Delman.
I'm a
French
bounty
farmer dog.
hunter.
Here's my collar and my flea medicine. Let's do this.
He would make such a bad dog. What does
Yeah.
that say about someone if they'd make a bad dog?
I think he'd be a
He's like a cat. He's definitely like not a dog.
No, I think he's
not-
one of those weird animals that people get that you're like, you shouldn't have a fox.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
definitely one
That's
of
not
those where it's
legal,
like,
yeah.
Oh no, don't do that. Like,
Don't get a fox.
don't get a fox.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on
No,
now.
no, I'm not a
on.
fox. I'm a
No,
dog.
Fox. No, I
that?
get it.
No,
One of
I
these times,
get it.
We're gonna have to have him on here so
Yeah.
he can actually use his voice.
And all of our impressions are
telling him last
immediately
night.
debunked.
Yeah, he's just got like a normal guy's voice.
There's no way.
Hey, I'm Delman.
Hello.
What's up, guys? It's me, Delman.
It's me, Delman. You have talked about me for a long time on the podcast.
You keep doing a very random impression of me, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't think it's a funny bit.
Anyway,
Also, moving forward, I am now
Dog
Andrew
Del-
Johnson. So
also I'm
Johnson
Andrew
Dog Delman.
this is my
Joe-
Andrew Johnson.
Joe
voice.
is coming out as Andrew Johnson
Are you coming
to
out
his
as Andrew
family.
Johnson?
I identify as Andrew Johnson.
Oh, that's great.
Who's next? What are we
Yeah,
doing here?
you
Where
can
are
do
we?
that as mine.
I can I'll go. I'm just really excited about going on this like road trip with you guys, even though we've already done it technically for people who are listening.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
But I'm very excited about it, and I just wanted to know if you guys have any particular like really fun road trip stories.
Hell yeah, I got one. I got one. I got a really good
Okay.
one.
Or just memories. Like I've got mine isn't a story, mine's a memory.
Okay, a memory.
You know what?
Memory.
What else you guys got? I just realized that the story I was going to tell
Is inappropriate?
it's inappropriate.
Oh.
It's an inappropriate story, so I'm not going to do it. But
Why?
What did you do? Who did you hurt?
there's been so many great times.
Did you kill someone?
No, there's just a story that
Did you
about
kill
a
someone
buddy of mine that
emotionally?
we give him a hard
Did you kill
time
Andrew
about.
Johnson?
We killed Andrew Johnson.
What happened?
Andrew
Can you
Johnson.
give us the PG version?
Yeah.
And say just say my friend
What if
when
we
you
were
refer
like,
to
can
you?
you give us the
Here's
PG
this.
version? And he's like, someone killed a hooker. It was a lot of blow. Okay.
Wasn't me.
Here's my favorite road trip story, or at least traveling story that I've ever experienced. I was in New York City with, I swear to God, Andrew Johnson. I'm
that
not
true?
joking.
No,
That's
wait,
his
you
name?
also know Andrew Johnson? Is this
There's
the
a
same?
mil-
No, it's Andrew
there's a-
Johnson.
Is this
A million-
Delman's Andrew Johnson?
Delman. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, you were
it's
with Andrew Johnson himself.
Andrew Johnson himself.
Got it.
Andrew Dog.
Andrew Johnson the second.
Wait,
And
does anyone get this bit? Were you with Andrew
You were
Delman?
with Delman.
I was with Delman.
Yeah, my husband.
But we're
Andrew
calling
Delman.
him Andrew Johnson because
Sure.
Joe said, what if he said he wanted to change his name
Sure.
to Andrew Johnson?
Yeah.
Follow
Now you're
along,
caught up.
everyone.
This is if you
Not hard to keep up.
if you were
Just
listening
listen.
3 weeks ago, you would know what we're talking about.
If you just started playing the podcast from this moment,
You'd be very confused.
One of those people who scrolls into 22 minutes. But so we went. We got an Airbnb, and it was in Bed-Stuy in New York City.
what the fuck?
And
That
it was a
sounds worse
very.
than
It was a little.
This bedroom's a bed-stuy.
Their bedroom's a real Bed-Stuy. And we went, and it was my second time in New York, and Delman knew some people, and I knew some people, and we hung out with a bunch bunch of people, and what we did was we would go out at night and we would have a good time and we'd stay up late, and then we would go back to the Airbnb, taking the subway, and we would go to sleep, and I would wake up in the morning and I would wake up to a baby grand piano being played from the living room,
Which is heavenly. This is heavenly.
Yeah,
heavenly.
that Delman was playing.
How old was it? Like 3 months?
White, beautiful piano.
Because it was baby grand.
He made a baby grand joke that he's so freaking
How about you let me
proud
tell
of.
my fucking story?
baby. Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, buddy.
Good. But anyway, yeah, it was amazing. And then we would do that. I would wake up and he'd literally have coffee ready. I see why you married him.
Yeah.
And we kind of did have the
Yeah.
conversation of like, we could just be like married and we would do really well together. Like as two
Oh, you
dudes.
imagined being married to Delman.
Yeah, like not in any kind of sexual way, but definitely in that classic like, oh, I love hanging out with you. This is so fun and nice. And we would just do that.
You're a
we could do
considerate
that.
man, and I
Yeah.
appreciate your
You
consideration.
appreciate-
Yeah.
He'd have coffee waiting. He
Coffee
does it
waiting.
every morning. It's
Yeah,
nice.
and I would wake up to literal, really good piano music from
Yeah.
a baby grand piano
That he'd
at
just
like
be playing.
11, not like
Yeah.
9 a.m. Like when it was right. Like he
Yeah.
waited for the right time.
Like he's like
It's
he was
he knew that was like Elliot wants to get up now. We're back, and then he would go to
like
the
he
piano.
knew. He's like, I'm gonna wake
Yeah.
this boy up right.
Yeah, that's what it was. And I would
He was,
wake up
like,
to the
doing
smell
an
of coffee and
alarm.
piano. Yeah,
You
A beautiful
stretch, you
alarm.
walk
Beautiful.
into the kitchen. Delman goes, I made you breakfast. And then he points at the dog bowl at the corner of the room and goes, get on your knees and eat it.
And then he pulls out a gun and goes, "You better finish the whole bowl."
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
And it's at that point you notice there's blood dripping from his arm on the other side, and you're like, "What's going on here?" He's got a
Andrew
fresh
Delman-
wound.
I'm letting you know, if Andrew Delman were to ever pull a gun out, he would fumble with it so
He would
hard.
fire right away.
Yeah,
He'd be like,
new
"And
one.
don't." Oh shit! I didn't mean to fire. Sorry, I didn't mean to fire it.
When I get ready every day, he'll play like Billy Joel and Elton John songs, and
beautiful.
it's really very nice to just
very
like,
nice.
listen to
That's-
that.
I could
episode.
imagine
Yeah,
like
getting ready.
5 years down the road. Would you stop it with the Billy Joel every morning?
They'd be like,
with your like hot cup of coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like-
And your beautiful, your like Belgian waffles that he made for you. These Belgian waffles are undercooked. Son of a bitch. Fucking Andrew Johnson.
I'm like aggressively naked. I'm like just aggressively naked.
yeah.
He walks in, he's like, "What was that, honey?" And I throw my hot coffee on
Yeah,
him.
you've got syrup all over your
Yeah.
bare chest. There's only one dollop of cream on this undercooked Belgian waffle. I like 2 dollops.
2 dollops.
He's like, "Sorry, don't have clever conversation." That's your road trip story?
I mean, yeah, we'll go.
That
with
was your
one.
PG
That's
one?
fine.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll
that's
go
fine.
We'll
That's
go
good.
with
I don't
that
understand
one.
how that's inappropriate.
No,
Oh, is this
No,
a
it's
different
a different
story?
story.
Right, got it.
'Cause
That's
he
a
had
good.
to-
That's a good
Thank
story.
you very
Elliot
much.
took a
Trina
left
won.
turn.
Great cover,
Yeah,
man.
Elliot took a
Great
great
Yeah,
left
I
turn.
really, I knew you guys would figure it out. You're so smart. I knew it though.
Oh, I didn't figure it out.
Really? Oh, well, you did though.
Well, because they said it,
Yeah.
and then you confirmed it.
Oh, I had no idea.
I believed you. Yeah, I believe that was your inappropriate
Oh,
story, and you made it
good.
PG.
I love road trips. All right, what's your?
Did you
your-
fuck Delman? Is that the story?
That's the story. Did you? It's
All right.
okay.
Well, I'll tell you mine.
could
So
never
mine's a
fuck.
memory. Mine's a memory, and it's definitely. And my family would sometimes go to Vegas as a family.
That's cute.
Which is like kind of a weird. It's definitely fun, but kind
Mm-hmm.
of a weird place to take your kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, my dad is into gambling. He doesn't have a problem. All right, guys. So
It's
let's
a
just
tough
calm
place to
down.
take your kids.
Everybody relax.
Everybody relax. My dad doesn't. My dad is not addicted to gambling. Okay, Joe, I see you looking at me.
I'm just being hyper paranoid.
Lee did a close up on me. I appreciate that. That never happens. Anyways,
You edit the podcast.
I do edit the podcast, but I don't live switch it to myself.
Yeah,
Why would
yeah.
I do that? Like, oh yeah, let's look at me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like, I'm just not that kind of guy.
No, you're
you know?
okay. But your dad, you should get him some help.
Oh, he doesn't need it, Joe. And I'm telling you, he does not have a problem. Okay, guys, do you want me to call him? I'll call him right now. No, so
I want him to call it.
they used to take us to Vegas, and we had a great time. And I just have this really fun memory, this like fond memory of being in the car with my whole family, and my brother and I were listening to Stone Temple Pilots,
Ooh.
like classic Stone Temple Pilots. Like it's which one was it? It was like Fuck. One time, one thing occurred to me. One really was a girl. Yeah. Ding dong, save it all alone. Flies in the Vaseline.
Vaseline, yeah.
So I remember
I
us
always thought
just
it's flies in the Vaseline.
flies in the Vaseline.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was flies in the faster lane for a long time.
Okay, there's a lot of
Flies
that.
in the
faster lane.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
going
those guys.
faster than the other ones.
Yeah.
Think I'll be safer going left. No, but so we would drive into. So I just have this memory of driving into Vegas and seeing like the Luxor and Excalibur, and then just being like, this is amazing that this exists, and I'm here with my family who I love very much. My brother and I are like super into Stone Temple Pilots. I just like anytime I hear that song now,
Brings
it
you
just
back.
takes me back to that moment of being in the
Oh, yeah,
car
man.
together and just like going into Vegas. We're about to have a great time, and that's like one of my best road trip memories.
Dude.
I was pretty young though.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
How old do you know?
I must have been like 15, maybe 14.
That's a great
15.
age though.
Yeah.
To actually have a
Maybe.
moment of like, this is really nice. And when
Yeah.
you're 15, that's hard.
Right? Yeah, because
15
you're a lot of angst.
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of angst, but also not a lot of self-reflection, not a lot
Yeah.
of self-knowledge.
I think it's one of those things where I didn't appreciate it in the moment, but I definitely like it stuck
now,
with me.
but the song, that's amazing. That's the thing about sensory memories.
Yeah,
that
totally.
Because this isn't
Totally.
my favorite road trip memory, but you're bringing up a memory of mine of almost the exact same thing. It's one of the earliest memories that I have, and you know how like all your early memories are just like quick snapshots,
yeah,
and
for
you may
sure.
not know what they're necessarily connected
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
My favorite song, hands down, you guys have heard me say it before, is "Careless Whisper."
Yeah.
George Michael and Wham.
Yeah.
And it's because it's connected to just a snippet of a memory that I have from when I was a kid. I don't know why we were on this road trip. I actually think it might have been connected to my mom was in a hospital and we went and visited her in towns far away, and
Oh,
we
wow.
were coming back super late at night. And all I remember is the lines on the highway, like the yellow lines just flying by at a fast rate, and then the light poles just kind of flying by,
Yeah.
just seeing the lights. That's all I remember. I don't know what road I was on. I was on a
nice.
straightaway. I see lines and lights, and then "Careless Whisper."
Dude, that sounds
playing.
beautiful.
It was, and it's stuck in my head. Like that forever.
Gonna dance again.
As that like lights are flashed, that sounds like a movie scene.
No rhythm. I know not. Should've known better than I hated.
But you did it.
It is one of the greatest songs.
It's amazing.
It's a good
I love
song.
it.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
So I'm never gonna dance again
The way I dance with you. Sweet.
Yeah, and it's the saxophone. That lick just stayed with me forever.
Thank you so much. Thank
That's
you.
one of- I have that with Automatic for the People, REM's album.
Oh, that's a great album.
I have it
Great
with,
album.
Thespians in Florida.
Is
and
that
Tampa
what's the
performers.
frequency? Kenneth, is it on that album?
I don't think what's the frequency Kenneth is. No, but
What's
it's
on that one? Night Sleep or Night Swimming or
Drive,
something?
the song Drive and Night Swimming is on it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Losing My Religion was one of my favorite songs.
That's so
Yeah,
good.
it's
REM's
really
great,
good.
man.
R.E.M. is
I love
awesome.
early REM, Shiny Happy People.
Happy
Shiny,
People.
yeah,
So
for sure.
good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Everybody Hurts. Great song.
Oh
Really
yeah,
great song.
dude, Man on the Moon.
That's Automatic for the
That
People.
Man on
one
the Moon
really gets
gets
me.
me.
That one gets
Yeah.
me good. Big time.
Just because it's totally about Andy Kaufman and it's so good and so sweet. I love it.
Skip.
Cool, man. So Lee, memories.
Oh,
Road
memories.
trip?
The one that I keep thinking that keeps coming ahead. We did a lot of road trips because we were like very poor growing up, so that was like a lot of our family vacations was like road trips out to like collect geodes in the desert. You know,
Which is actually kind of cool.
it was actually it was like more than cool, and we always had a really great time no matter what.
Did you
And that
find
was-
geodes out
Yeah,
there, like
tons.
natural
It was really
ones? That's cool.
Yeah,
I want to do
super
that.
cool. But the one that I remember the most, just because after you said that, was last minute. It was like before Coachella was like as big as it was. Coachella was actually just a stupid thing in the desert that you could see like all these really cool indie artists, like no Beyonce, like no anything.
Not Beyonce.
Then I don't
No
want to hear about it
Beyonce.
if there's no Beyonce.
No, Beyonce.
I don't want you
No,
to be on.
No, Beyonce.
Excuse me, sir. Do you guys have Beyonce?
No,
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Got it. Got it.
No, Beyonce.
We do have Sade.
No, you want
Ooh, I love
Sade?
Sade.
You
Oh, I
want
love
Sade?
Sade.
You want Sade?
I'm sorry, Sade?
Yeah, Sade.
Who's he saying? Sade?
Beyonce. No, Beyonce.
I'm sorry, who is Sade?
Sade?
Oh, Sade! Sade!
Yeah, I Sade.
Smooth operations.
Yes.
Smooth operations.
Smooth operations.
No, it was like last minute. My brother and his then girlfriend, now wife, he was
Classic
like, "Hey,
move.
classic move."
I know, right? It's like,
I'd say
I'm gonna get married.
Yeah,
pretty
it's always
typical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
typical.
Yeah.
Right.
It's exhausting.
Standard, I would say.
It's like, why even bother getting
Normal.
married at all these days? You know?
Stop it. No,
We told you to leave it off the phone.
I'm talking
about it.
No politics,
We're
no ex-wives.
sponsored by
Guys.
marriage.
Politics, no ex-wives. No politics, no ex-wives.
What is marriage if it isn't politics?
That's my entire brand. Shit. Okay.
Okay, no, so last minute he was like, "Hey, a friend of mine gave me these Coachella tickets," and I was like, "What the hell is Coachella?" And he was like, "Do you want to go see?" Because Radiohead was there, and Radiohead is one of
Cool.
my favorite. I've seen them 8 or 9
I've always
times
wanted
live
to
now.
see them, yeah.
Dude, they are unfreaking real, man. They're like next level live, because they're actually amazing musicians and
Yeah.
they're incredible. Like it's art how they do it. You know, it's really amazing. But he was like, "Let's go see Radiohead," and I was like, "Yeah!" So we drove out like the day of to Coachella to Indio Valley, which is like tons of traffic, you know. And then we saw everything. We saw like Section Quartet. Imogen Heap was there. That was
Ooh,
like a
Imogen.
really
Oh,
big
yeah.
one that I loved. Rilo Kiley.
Sade?
I listen to her
No
them every day.
Sade.
Beyonce?
No. There was
No.
also like we laughed because there was a lot of people. that
Andrew
we were-
Johnson?
Andrew Johnson. Very disappointed
Nice.
by his
Headliner.
work. But then we saw like Radiohead and like we were like, we have to go because we were fully exhausted. You're out in the sun in the heat. It's before it was a real place, so they had like, you know, $15 bottles of water, and that's about it. Like they literally, there was no booths, there was no
like, we're
anything.
figuring this whole thing
yeah,
out.
it was
Give us 20
It was
years.
in the fucking desert with like a bunch of tents. So
I can't wait till I can buy vape pens here.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it really was stupid. We'd had a bunch of water, but we were fully exhausted. Just like, you know, like theme park exhausted, where you're just like fully exhausted. And so Jake, my brother, was driving home, and Heather and I kept falling asleep, but he kept being like, "You have to stay awake so I can stay awake.
We're
Like,
gonna
you have
die
to
if
talk
you
to
don't
me."
stay awake.
Exactly. He was like, "You have to talk to me," and it's like we still bring it up, we still say it, because I've never seen him this angry in my life. I'm gonna pull the microphone away because literally we'd start to fall asleep, and he'd just be like, "You have to stay awake."
Why couldn't you take shifts?
Because like it literally was just like Heather tried to drive, but she was like, "I'm gonna pass out."
Yeah, but like, we couldn't one of you sleep and then the two talk and then switch it up?
we tried so hard to do it, and so that we did take a shift. That was Jake's shift was the last
Yeah,
shift.
okay.
But he was like, "You have to. One of you has to stay awake to keep me awake." But on his last shift, we both decided to pass out. And
Oh,
he just-
man.
like literally, he was just like. The best line that he ever said is, "You guys are gonna kill us! You guys are gonna kill us all!"
Is
was
it?
just like,
Do you think
"All right."
I've pulled that move too, where it's like, please don't sleep while I drive because I'm gonna fall asleep too? How much of it is just like you don't want to be alone? You don't want to sit there lonely
I
on the
truly
ride?
think because I was like having conversations with him, and I remember it being like, well, you know, the whole thing about
Oh, while he's driving.
and he's like, "Stay awake!" And I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
like, "All right."
yeah.
But we say it all the time. I'm just like, "You guys have to stay awake," because he's screaming it in the car at the top of his lungs because he's just like blaring,
Like to the point where you're angry at him.
to the point where
Shut up!
Sometimes you just can't help but
Yeah.
fall
you can't.
asleep.
But
Yeah.
all of us totally understood too. So we're just like, "I'm so sorry."
That's my
so
favorite
sorry.
Eric Clapton song, Joe.
Just can't help but fall asleep.
Are you kidding? That's a Jack Johnson.
That is a Jack
song.
Johnson song. You're
That's
right.
such a Jack Johnson.
It's am-
Anyways, that was
It's
a real good
amazing
one.
how many good, when it's like you're in your coming of age era, road trip stories are connected to concerts. And like
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
is
long
very
drives to sit or stand in a crowded
Yeah.
arena or an outdoor festival.
fart sweat arena.
Such a human thing.
It's
You know what
amazing.
they-
I miss it.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah.
You know what they have there at those concerts?
What do they have?
No Beyonce.
No,
Unless you go to a Beyonce concert.
Dude, can I just say really quick, because you said Radiohead, and then we'll do Joe's topic, and we'll get the fuck out of here.
Of course, yes.
Is that all of us?
No, Elliot.
Elliot still got
didn't
it.
say
Oh
it.
yeah, I
so,
forgot.
yeah,
Sorry
it's
about
fine.
that. Sorry, Elliot.
But mine will be a good
He
third.
doesn't know if he wants a wedge salad.
Just really
or,
quick,
Wedge salad.
Radiohead. You're talking about Radiohead.
Yeah.
There's an unreleased song from OK Computer, which is like arguably their best album. I
Ooh,
think.
I don't think
I
that's
said
so, but let's keep
arguably,
going.
but you know
Okay.
that's why you say arguably.
Yeah, that's why
but
you say arguably. Contrarian.
The song is called "I Promise," and it is absolutely like their new version of Creep. It is like their new, like you know how they never did
Yeah,
Creep again.
yeah.
They just
I
like changed so much.
promise. Is
No,
that how
no,
it goes?
no.
Oh.
No.
That sounded like Creed.
Those creeds, I promise.
Oh, was it? Did
Damn
Creed
it,
have a
I
song
think
No,
I
he
do.
just made it though.
Oh,
Yeah, I promise.
I promise. No,
might have
but
been
it's
Andrew
called
Johnson
it's called I
singing.
Promise. It just and anybody who loves Creep by Radiohead, look for I Promise. It was left off of OK Computer.
check it out.
But it just
Yeah,
got
now I am
released.
gonna-
It's
I want
so
it.
good. It's
I
so
love
good.
Creep.
I
Beautiful
do too.
song. Creep is a beautiful
I
song.
love
a beautiful
Karma
song.
Police.
Karma
Same.
Police.
OK Computer,
same.
man. Oh
OK
well.
Computer.
Yeah,
No.
Karma
Is that the
Police
one
is
that's
OK
like-
Computer.
OK Computer is a real high end for
It's
me on
fucking
that.
dude,
but I
fucking
love,
Paranoid Android.
Yeah,
so
I know.
fucking good.
It might actually be my favorite now that I think about it. But
man.
it's a real tough one.
Yeah.
I don't think
This,
I can come up with a favorite.
I
one.
love Just. I don't know if that's from
I
Paula
liked Hail to
Honey
the
or-
Thief a lot.
Hail to the Thief's
and I
pretty good.
didn't
I
know
like
I
Halo
would.
with it. I like
Yeah.
that.
I like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Segue,
Sorry.
segues into my subject really nicely.
Okay, great.
There we go.
Oh.
You guys know I'm a big
Joe's is going to be show and tell anyway, so it'd be fun to leave for
Yeah.
last.
That's what I thought.
Fine.
And mine's a very quick one. It's kind of just a tag onto that.
Joe's is-
Fine.
I got kind of hyped because like I nerd out about very few things, but I checked in on my favorite band recently,
Weezer?
And yeah, thank you. And they supposedly are working on next album being what's called the Black Album because they've done blue,
Oh,
Blue,
yeah.
green,
red, yeah, and then white, which was amazing. And they're taking their sweet time with it, and I'm really excited about it. But there is an
Do you
anxiety.
have any tidbits?
No, nothing.
No,
Nothing.
their nose is nothing. Like
And I really liked literally everything they put out for a while, and that makes me really happy. But at the same time, there's an anxiety that comes with Weezer because I'm
Yeah.
like 31.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And they do definitely, and I love poppy music and like very like kind of surface level like sugary pop rock music. And it makes me feel weird because I'm like, oh, this is what happens. Like you get used to the music that you got into when you're a teenager, and then you stay in it forever, and that's how I think
and you don't open yourself up to new flavors.
yeah, and
Are
then
you worried
I
about
always
that?
go back to it. Yeah, because it just makes me feel like how like I would always be like, man, it's weird that like my dad listens to classic rock all the time, like old rock. Like why is it gotta be old? Why not all this new cool rock that's out there?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, I get it. You just go back to what
Fully.
you know and what you like.
I think
Well,
it's
it's
a
that
thing.
sensory memory
yeah, it's
thing
that
we were
sensory
just
memory
talking
thing.
about.
Yeah.
Also, you have to have those people. My brother was one of them that would literally like come home and he'd be like, "Here's this." Like he still does it. He'll send me songs because he knows I'll
Yeah.
love it, and you're just like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah.
James
brother
Vincent
and I do that. We'll be
McMurrow
like, "Oh, here,
is
check
someone
this
that he just like over the last couple years introduced me to, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm in
Yep,
love."
I love them.
I love him. But
Never
like
even heard of
he does that a lot, and you would love him. You'd 100% love him. But it's just like I think you have to have those people that are like that. Also, here is a big one too. Movies are so essential in that because there were so many like Guardians of the Galaxy. That first soundtrack was unreal.
Yeah.
That was an unreal one, and there were so many '70s bands that I'd never really.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, I mean, like
Were you
I'd
introduced
heard
to
them,
stuff with
but
that
like
soundtrack?
Redbone, I never knew, and so I
Wow.
decided to like look at everything else, and I was like, oh, I'm in love.
Do you
like,
do Spotify? Are you a Spotify user?
I am a Spotify user, but they honestly, not to shade, but like sometimes they get algorithms so wrong. I'm like, that's enough Captain and Tennille Spotify.
Really?
To
I
shine
love
a little
Spotify.
shine a little light on your shade.
I'm so sorry.
I'm creeped out by how good they are at being like
Shine a little light
Really?
on your shade
Oh
is
my
also
God.
an REM.
The Daily
song.
Mix.
And that ABBA wrote. Yeah.
ABBA.
Abba wrote it for REM.
For REM,
Could you
yeah.
imagine? Oh,
I can't read in Swedish.
But yeah, it's definitely new music is great and it's always fun to like.
But
find
it's
it,
hard
but
to
it's
not
weird.
just love. I know. I mean, I think that's it.
I listen to like
personally-
shitty. I just also realized I listen to crappy music.
Well,
like
I was thinking
silly music.
I think what
cheesy
you're
music.
talking about also, there's the sensory memory connection, but a lot of that is because when you're young and you're growing up, there is just a lot of sitting around and finding yourself, and a lot of that is
Yeah.
to music. Like it becomes the soundtrack of your life.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we're all a little busy these days, so you don't have these moments
Yeah.
of just falling into finding new
Yeah.
things that speak for you because you don't know who you are yet. But I would contend that Spotify is great, and you
It
have to be a
is.
little bit more of an active thinker and make a choice. But if you just go, I'm going to listen to 10 new songs today
Yeah.
of people that I've never heard, which I've done before, it'll open you up.
So
discover
that kind of reminds me of when in Joe and I mean, and Lee and Elle might know a bit of this, but Joe and I are a little older than you guys, but when we were kids, like
Shut the
if you so sorry, shit, we don't talk about our age, we don't talk about our ex-wives, we don't talk about politics.
It's my entire brand.
So anyway, so I remember like you would hear a song like on the radio, or like a friend would be like, "Oh man, you got to hear this song," and then if you wanted to hear anything else from that artist, you'd have to go to like a warehouse or like a Virgin Records
be
or
an
something.
No, I
adventure.
remember that.
It would be an actual adventure. You'd have to find an album of
You'd have
theirs
to,
if
like,
you
go
could
to
even
that,
find
that
it.
thing, and you'd like a listening center, and you have
Yeah,
to, like, pop
and
it
you'd
on
be
there.
like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit!" Like you would just have to like roll the dice. If the artist, sometimes it's a one-hit wonder, sometimes it's like a great
But
band and you discover that
the
way.
purchase meant more because you were giving cold hard cash $12, $15,
Yeah.
$20 for a CD, so you would listen to the whole thing.
Oh,
Oh
you
yeah,
would.
yeah. And you
Well,
wouldn't put it on
and-
shuffle. You listen to it every
Yep.
track by
Truth
track.
be told,
yeah.
I really also think, and this is something me and my brother were recently discussing. He's an amazing musician. Sleeping Wolf is his band. If you ever want to listen to it, he's incredible.
Oh, we don't no
We're gonna have
plugs,
to,
please.
we're gonna
No,
have
we'll
to
plug 'cause
delete
he's
that from the
wonderful.
I'll cut
podcast.
that out.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
no, he was saying, he's like, I really feel like back then when people did buy albums, because that's what you had to do. He's like, so much more effort went into albums. Perfect examples are like Michael Jackson. You can pop it on and listen to it violently through. Like every song is
Angrily.
perfection.
Yeah, you get.
You know,
I get
I'm
angry
furious
Eruptingly.
about it.
Yep.
But like, really, you can listen to, and I feel like so much more now. They're like, yeah, just pop it on there. Like,
I mean,
really
or you just don't get the
do.
album experience
I don't
anymore.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
you know, Elliot, to your topic, really quick. I feel like I've always been kind of an elitist when it came to music and,
You
and
are.
movies in some ways. And
In
I'm opening up a lot more though. I'm definitely grown. I've definitely grown. But
That face, Lee, is insane.
But I used to just like listen to like the same 16 bands over and over again for years and years and years, and then I just like decided to fucking branch out, and Spotify really kind of did that for me. Like
Yeah.
What's your
Spotify,
favorite
and
band?
Spotify also has a feature where they give you like a daily mix, and it's like based on all the music you love and favorite and stuff, and they just give you music like that's kind of like related to that.
It's amazing.
And I find so many new artists
Me
that
too.
way.
I
But-
love it. I've found all my new music. Like
yeah,
that.
I love it. And there's
Yeah.
so much good music out there.
It's also
Yeah,
like
it's
liking
true.
something like Weezer so much when they inherently disappoint over and over again, and that might be the heart of.
Weezer
Oh,
wrote
is that
that
what it
Monkeys
is, you
song.
think?
So the
That
Monkeys,
Monkeys album is one of
the
my
Monkeys
favorite
album is
albums.
so fucking good.
Yeah, man, it's great.
The Monkeys released a new album, and
Yeah,
Rivers
released one
wrote
song, yeah.
that "She Makes Me Laugh" song or whatever it's called.
Ben Gibbard
It's
wrote a
so
song.
Good.
Magdalena
or something.
Magdalena.
It's so fucking good.
I would listen to it on
So
a
good.
road trip, full
Yeah.
circle.
And it just makes you feel warm, and like that "She Makes Me Laugh" song is so
Yeah.
like
She
cute.
makes me
Yeah.
laugh.
She makes me smile.
Oh man, we should all listen to it together.
beautiful.
I know. I'd love to listen to
It's
that.
really
I
good.
remember listening to it like a couple times. I'm like, oh, this
The
is nice.
first
I'm not
five,
gonna-
six
It's such a
songs are great.
Rivers song.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you can.
such a-
His stamp is very like
just catchy
What he
and
does,
just
yeah.
Hooky.
Yeah,
Joe, what do you
there's-
So
got?
what do you got, buddy?
Okay, so for Easter, my wife got me a gift in my Easter basket.
Humble brag.
Sorry,
I
know,
the
we are-
Easter
Wow.
bunny
Wow.
got me a gift in my Easter basket.
okay.
Jesus, Joe.
And in it was a crate, a little white crate, a little beechwood-looking crate filled with chocolates. And these chocolates are right
Beechwood.
here.
Oh.
And these chocolates
Not Beyonce.
are beer chocolates. These are
Beyonce.
white Belgian beer-filled
Wow,
chocolates.
your wife knows you well.
I know.
Right. So I wanted you guys to all experience
Oh,
this
no.
this journey with me together. These are all different types of beer.
Now, is it real alcohol? Is there
I do
real
believe it's so,
alcohol
but
content?
it's
It's
so,
at 12.5.
Holy shit!
You're
It'll
gonna be
knock you on your ass.
gotcha.
I'm gonna go to the hospital
it's
again.
12.5% alcohol content with mixed with heroin.
Well, I'm in.
tinge of heroin.
Goodbye, mom.
The
so I-
aftertaste of
I,
heroin. It's
I
not a
want
big
to. I have
put 'em out
experienced
like
these.
this.
Everything.
Oh, yeah, let me do a
full
little zoom in
disclosure.
there.
I've already had some of these, but I wanted to experience it with you guys at the same time. So I'm not going to tell you what my experience has
Cool.
been because I feel like it'll be the same damn experience when I do it again. So you guys can all choose.
Oh, have
Which
we
one did you
chosen?
get?
You've all chose.
I've got
Do you want-
Rose Max.
Do you like rosé?
No.
There we go.
I don't
Switch.
even know what it is. What is this?
It's called Choco Beer.
This was Bruges, Brugs,
Oh,
Brugs.
this is- you're
For
getting
those
there, buddy.
for those just listening, we have slightly beer shaped.
Oh shit! I've been
We have
I've
a
had the
foil
shot.
wrapped-
The close-up shot
beer-shaped
was still going.
foil
What is this?
wrapped
Brudge?
chocolate.
Brugs?
I think it's all made
Oh, it's a
up.
different language or something.
Right.
Okay.
So I think the best way to do this is for all of us to just throw the whole thing in our mouths.
The whole thing?
And just live
And
it. Live it
Okay,
up.
Fear Factor.
yeah,
right?
it is a little.
I think it's
Jesus.
the
Wow,
only way
yeah.
to
I
do it.
like to enjoy my chocolate.
Smells
beer.
like chocolate, right?
Really?
You
Is it
going
the
for
whole thing? We're doing the whole
I
thing?
think,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's the best way to do
All right,
it.
fuck
Let's do
it.
it. Do a
Is it
countdown,
liquid
Joe.
fill?
Do a countdown.
Is there liquid?
Yeah, there's liquid.
Oh, there is
Oh,
liquid.
that's
oh,
why you
Jesus.
said whole
okay.
thing.
Well, thanks a lot, Joe.
Yeah, all right. This is going to be worse than that whole swallow thing.
So we're all
we
gonna go.
did.
This is chocolate-filled beer,
Uh-huh.
or a beer-filled chocolate
No Beyonce.
that we got from Easter, and we will all vividly describe our experience after 3, 2, 1. Not good.
We're supposed to be friends.
Yeah, I know. It's real bad. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Okay. Mine wasn't that bad.
I really liked it.
You feel the crystallization?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
I was like, is this a shell?
It is really hard.
Uh-huh.
And crunchy.
I think they crystallize the inside so the beer don't escape.
Yeah.
Weird. It's
I
really crunchy. It does not.
Great.
Look
Now
like
Steve's
a crunchy
never
thing.
gonna drink a beer with us.
Well, I'm not used to the flavor. I'm not. It actually tasted not. It tasted like it had more of an alcohol content than beer.
They're robust.
They are robot. It does feel like it's like a vodka shot in a thing. Is what it tastes
Right?
like.
But it's beer?
Yeah, it did taste more like vodka.
It tastes
It
more
just tastes like beer at
vodka.
all to me.
I gave up beer for the New Year and I just broke my New
Oh
Year's
my
great.
god!
Really
You know what,
count.
Joe?
It doesn't count.
We're going to have to talk about your
Oh.
topics.
Forget it.
You know what? Joe's topics,
Forget
we're
it.
just going to have to talk to Joe about his
We'll
topics.
talk
so
to
he
you about
comes
his
in.
topics.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
I mean, just every time we're
it's
just
every time.
miserable
Yeah.
after his topic.
Yeah.
Like,
did you have a
Elliot,
goal? I'm going to
now-
destroy your goal.
Now you can drink beer.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
I'm back. I'm back, everybody.
I didn't think it was awful. I just wasn't ready for how much alcohol content was hidden in that
Yeah,
chocolate.
here's the
It
thing.
pops out at you.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. You are so lucky that you didn't have to do this rosé man.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What did it taste
I
like?
had a cherry one that time, and it's the best one that I've had because the cherry
they
chocolate.
added
it
like
was
a
Batman.
little raspberry, so it was like a raspberry vodka shot.
Weird.
He
Yeah, mine was just
very bad for shit.
mine just
God.
straight up tasted like just like a pure alcohol.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mind it. But then again, anything in chocolate, I really don't mind.
Yeah, all right.
That's the truth.
I don't like it hot, like spicy chocolate. I don't like
I think
chocolate that
this-
has like pepper
Oh
flakes.
yeah,
in it.
that's
Not
exhausting.
into that.
It's not
Don't
what
try
I-
and
it's not what I
dick
gave
around
you.
with my
I'm sick of
chocolate.
it. Yeah,
didn't
don't
give
make
you that.
chocolate a fucking
Don't
game.
make chocolate a game with me.
Don't make
Or
it a
when they're like,
game.
It's what we
"Here's
just
some-
did.
Here's some freeze-dried bananas. Pop 'em
Yeah,
in
yeah.
your
You know what I do
chocolate."
like though? I like it when there's those potato chips. It's like Pringles that are like covered in chocolate.
Hell yeah, that's a little salt, a little bit
a little
of
salty,
chocolate.
a
What are
little
you
sweet.
nuts? What do you got, Joe? What are you
I just
doing?
want to let you all know that this Belgian beer-filled chocolates gift set starts at $22.95, but was swiftly discounted and is now available for $7.98.
All right, I
Oh
think
my
I found a
really
reason as to
God.
why.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No one bought it, huh?
I can't really shake. Is anyone else able to shake the thing in their mouth? They're tasting.
I feel great.
I mean, I'm
I didn't
fine.
mind
I'm
it.
fine. Yeah.
I had a fine time.
You
I,
had
uh,
a good one then.
I did actually may have just had a good one.
I mean,
think.
mine was
You had a
just
good one.
no
the
cherry or
chocolate was
anything.
good. I just think the liquid is a little too strong.
Yeah, it's gross. Also, hear me out. I don't like someone popping in my mouth.
You don't like Gushers?
You don't like Pop Rocks?
Oh, I love pop.
You don't like
Rocks.
dick?
I was waiting for it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, this was great. It's a little bit of a short one, but Joe has to get going, and
I gotta go take my son to his kindergarten walkthrough.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cute.
and
Oh,
also
that's
the
real
rest of the
cute.
Valley
I'm gonna
folk
leave him there.
are preparing for our Wednesday evening stream, which we're gonna
Yes.
play God of War together.
Oh, I'm
And we're
very
gonna hang
excited
out. We're
about
just gonna
that.
have some snacks and
That sounds really nice.
sit back, relax, and we'll just play some God of
I'm
War, have
stoked
fun, and
about
just talk
that.
to the audience. and
Ooh, I'm ready.
have a great time. So if you guys, I'm sure, I mean, this has definitely gone up after that, but you could probably go to twitch.tv/thevalleyfolk and check out our
do that
archived
anytime.
videos. Yeah. You can check out archived videos, and then you could join us every Wednesday night around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a live stream.
You guys are wonderful.
Play with us a lot of times. You
We've
can join in
quiplashed,
and-
we've rock
Yep,
banded.
We play rock band.
Oh, we have.
we-
We've
we-
even done character work with candles.
we certainly have, and more is coming for sure.
We killed a man in real time.
More is coming?
Absolutely.
Just more sketch type things are coming.
More sketch type things.
More sketch type things. But most importantly, we have a lot of fun with the audience. So
We do.
if you want to participate with us and play some fun games with us, or just come and let us know what you think of the podcast and what we've been doing so far, then we'd love to have you come by and say that to us.
it.
Ask us some questions, whatever you want, baby.
Yeah.
And we'll
I love
leave you
it.
with a little bit of I feel so unsure
What is this song?
I don't know.
as I take your hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies,
As the music dies,
something in your
Something in
eyes
your
calls to
eyes.
mind the silver screen and all its sad goodbyes. I'm never gonna dance again. Flies are in the fast lane, baby. You have to stay away! Stay away!
Gold.
I'd like to thank Andrew Johnson for today's episode, and goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Valleycast.